A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are here at SLTL Group. I've got a very interesting guest, Mr. Maulik Patel, Executive Director of SLTL Group. Good to meet you, Maulik ji. So, what's new in 2026 for SLTL Group?
We have a lot of new things in 2026. Here at the show, we are showcasing a couple of new products. We are now into a complete portfolio of cutting, bending, and welding. So now we have a complete package for a sheet metal fabrication. In 2026, we have a couple of new launches. We have a Vector series, which is a high-speed, high-acceleration fiber laser cutting machine, which is capable of 12 kilowatt, 20 kilowatt at display as well. That is a new launch. The major aspect of what is new in it is the IoT platform has been refined and upgraded. There has been a control system and a motion control, which has been fine-tuned to make sure that we get the highest amount of productivity, and certain internal configuration changes have happened in the new Vector series. We're also showcasing a X5 2026 series, which is again it has certain functionality where it can help operators and owners to leverage their productivity output, which is a 5-axis laser cutting machine for automotive formed components, automotive or railways or any other industry.
And Maulik bhai, how important is R&D for you? Because being a pioneer in this company, a lot of companies they are doing white labeling because they don't want to invest in R&D, because a lot of your chunk goes in R&D to come up with a better product made in India. We say make in India, made for the world. So how important is R&D for you, and what you are doing in that segment?
So R&D has always been our forte. I mean, we had been developing products which have been completely developed by India in India. Our team is very competent. We have a fantastic team available with us. Our tagline has been empowering innovation. So we say that from a peon to president, everybody is empowered to innovate. That is what is our tagline. And how we measure it, there is a difference between a Kaizen and an innovation. And we make sure that the shop floor people are constantly doing certain improvements in terms of which is called Kaizen as a Japanese terminology. And the top floor or the senior people, we always make sure that we keep serving and understanding our customer base. By understanding and meeting customers, we are trying and figuring it out. Of course, it takes its own time because R&D is not a cakewalk. But yes, we spend almost 10 to 8% of our revenue on our research and development. And we have developed India's finest 5-axis laser cutting machine. That is actually our outcome of our R&D. A finest vector, high-end, high-speed acceleration, which is, I think, nobody in India has this kind of product. We also have showcased, and where with a 3 kilowatt laser, we are able to achieve, and deliver certain things which is doable at a 6 kilowatt laser. So those are the outcomes of the R&D. So I'm just talking about the metal forming industry. There has been a lot of R&D happening on laser marking. There's a lot of R&D happening on laser micro machining. So we constantly make sure that R&D has to be done.
Today we are last day of IMTEX. You have been here for all the days. I've seen you talking to clients, busy talking to different visitors also. What sort of response you are seeing in 2026, and which all industry vertical clients, sector-wise clients are coming to talk about their challenges, so that how SLTL can step in and solve those.
Right. So I think we have got a mixed clientele base. People had been coming from railways, aerospace, defense, general engineering, sheet metal fabrication. Now today plasma is getting replaced by laser. So a lot of high thickness, shipbuilding companies. So we have got a response from almost every sector and every segment, white goods, panel manufacturers. So response has been from all around India. Of course, has been majorly from South India. But yes, it has been for every single different industry.
And how do you see industry performing in terms of metal forming? Because if you say 2025-6, we are in Jan, 2 months will close our financial year. So how do you see the growth in your sector?
Sheet metal forming has always been, I would say, it has stayed behind than metal cutting. Metal cutting is much larger industry. Of course, it has its own USP and its own advantage because that industry is much larger. But when it comes to metal forming, now is the time for India that metal forming is taking in a different shape because I've seen fabricators who just need three basic equipments to fabricate things. One shear, like a catchy type shear.
Right.
They need a stick welding machine, right, and a saw, and a small bend, which is a manual bend.
Okay.
A fabricator is ready. This is how the fabricators were early days. This is how people were doing a small sheet metal fabrication. Everything was an art. It was a skill. Now, with the help of software, AI is still far away, but we are talking about software, digitalization, and this high-end sheet metal cut, bend, and weld, high-speed equipments. I think they're able to get better productivity, and as they are able to get better productivity, and the newer generation is coming in the play, they want to do and more and more stuff. Along with that, I think our GDP, the vision of going to $5 trillion economy, I think if the way that vision is being placed, and if you look at that vision, sheet metal industry is, poised to grow at almost like 20% CAGR.
And my last two questions. One, world is looking at India. Uh, EU wants to have, they say, mother of all deal. So how do you see the free trade agreement between European Union and India? How does it help us?
Well, see, what we are importing from EU, there has been still a lot of things which have been imported. There are certain critical components like optics, magnets, certain control systems has been imported. If I talk about lasers, there's still a lot of technology available in EU. But when it comes to the low-cost manufacturing and innovation, I think we also have now our equipment, if you look around, are almost at a level of what EU would be needing. And if there is a bilateral trade agreement, then for sure, I think it is going to be beneficial for both the countries. And for us as well, if you look at our export, we had been exporting to Germany, Poland, Italy, and many other countries, Spain, UK. Of course, is not part of EU anymore, but we have been exporting to all of these countries.
Lastly, it's an out of syllabus question. If you want, you can answer. If you want, you can skip. Anti-dumping was a very serious issue 2 years back. How do you see that impact? How is the roll-on? Still is it's validated? Still is up working on?
Well, anti-dumping has helped India, not only SLTL but the entire laser market. Because of that, I think you see there are so many Indian manufacturers. It might be looking that now they are assembler, but eventually that is how it starts, right? That is how it starts. Once you start assembling and then you start going deeper and deeper, it was the need of an hour where the manufacturing has to be addressed, and I think with that anti-dumping duty, I think it is addressed to a reasonable level.
One last, I want to take this advantage because of your experience. Startup, we are talking, and you are from Gujarat, where we think as an outsider, people are very business oriented. They don't need IM or ISB. It's in their blood to business. So lastly, the people who want the new generation, who want to come start a business, couple of tips or basic things, basic hygiene for them to grow or make their startup successful, because you yourself are into so many things. Some advice to young engineers who want to come to this manufacturing industry, some of the basic things which they can look up to make their company successful.
Well, I'm not an advisor who can advise to such a level, but yes, what I would say is perseverance and persistence are the most important thing. I had been in this industry since 2009, and we had been constantly pushing our limits in terms of the way we build machines, the way we look at our customers, the way we interact with our customers. There's been a constant upgrade. When it comes to startup, they are in a lean structure. It depends on what product and portfolio, what product or services they are into. But yes, I think these two, perseverance and passion, these are important aspects. And yes, there is always going to be a competition. And sometimes competition is good and sometimes it's not. It depends. It all depends on the industry, competition is from where. But yes, these are a part and parcel of the journey. And entrepreneurship is not an easy journey. Whether you are first generation or second generation entrepreneur, it's always a challenging tightrope walk and actually on a roller coaster. So
Thanks.
there's no specific advice to it,
Okay.
but yes, it's a journey, and if you have planned that yes you are going to go on that journey, then kindly make sure that you stay calm, focused. These are major advices.
It's a key takeaway qualified. It's always pleasure to speak to you, and we wish you a great success in 2026. And thank you, and thanks for
Thank you, Dinesh ji. Thank you.
One last.